It's time to review macOS Ventura. Welcome everybody. Welcome to AppleInsider. It is Andrew here, and you can find me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. I have been testing macOS Ventura for months since it was announced in June at WWDC. The new operating system is flush with wonderful new features, but it isn't without its controversies. There are some questionable things and some bugs that are still lingering. They may not make this the best update Apple has ever introduced to the Mac, but it certainly is a welcomed one. There is a lot to love here, including a new faster mail app, the clock and weather app come to the Mac, the ability to edit messages and unsend messages, the shared iCloud photo library, and so much more. So please sit back and join me as I review macOS Ventura. Let's start with one of the most controversial things with macOS Ventura, and that is the new system settings. And that's right, Apple's calling this system settings, which is kind of odd, right? It's just amalgamation of system preferences from old versions of macOS and just settings on iPadOS and iOS. And we bring them together and get system settings. It's neither new or old, it's just kind of a middling of both options. But Apple has gone away with the old panels, and now it basically looks like what you would see on your iPhone or iPad. And honestly, I think it looks much better. And things make more sense if you know where to look for them. I mean, your wallpapers are now in an actual wallpaper category instead of buried away under the desktop stuff. It was kind of confusing before, and I do think it makes more sense, especially for new people coming to the Mac. Apple still has a ton of new Mac users, and this is going to make it easier to adjust to the platform. As a longtime Mac user though, I still find myself having to struggle to dig through and find things that I'm looking for. And there are still bugs here. Some app launchers haven't been updated, and they'll still kick you to old versions of system preferences panels that no longer exist. The other questionable change to the Mac is Stage Manager. Stage Manager has been talked about a lot in recent weeks, but it's usually revolved around iPadOS. When you're using it with an iPad, it allows you to focus on a task and multitask better on an iPad with a larger screen. And you'll be able to connect to an external display on the more modern iPads and run two different desktops simultaneously and move between apps. It should be very nice. But Apple has been hit with so many different bugs and orientation things and resizing windows, it's kind of been a mess. On the Mac, it hasn't nearly been that much of a problem. It has been more polished, it is smoother, it is easier to operate, but I also don't really use it all that often. I'm a big power multitasker and I move between a lot of windows at the same time, and Stage Manager isn't really optimized for that. Stage Manager is going to be really useful for some people though. If you're focusing on a single task or just want to move between a couple windows at the same time, this is going to be great. It really helps you kind of hide everything else at the same time, focus on your window, on your task, without making everything full screen. Full screen can be annoying, and you have a lot of empty blank white space depending on the app that you're using. So I really like this if you're focused on a text document or an email, and you only want to move between those windows that you have open. For those instances, I think Stage Manager is going to be really helpful. But for me, in my everyday flow, it hasn't been as useful as I'd hoped it had been. If we could take a break for just one moment so that I can thank my sponsor for this video, CleanMyMac X by MacPaw. The Mac is a crucial tool for your work, your personal, and your education life, and CleanMyMac X is an outstanding companion application to keep it running in tip-top shape. It helps tune the Mac to run at maximum speed and prevents a Mac from cluttering, lagging, and slowing down. You can free up tons of space so your Mac never runs into an issue with storage. In total, CleanMyMac has nearly 50 built-in tools to keep your Mac clean, fast, and protected, all in a simple-to-use, gorgeous interface. As a special thank you to the loyal AppleInsider audience, MacPaw is offering a 5% discount on the full license of CleanMyMac 10, but it's only valid for 2 weeks. So use the link down below in the description and unlock the entire CleanMyMac experience. Thank you again sincerely to MacPaw. It is with sponsors like you that videos like this are possible, as well as my amazing audience. So thank you again to the sponsors and to everybody watching. With that said, let's get back to the topics. Okay, that's enough of the bad stuff. Let's talk about the awesome new features, like continuity camera. This is so welcomed. Basically, it allows you to use your iPhone as a webcam. Think about it. Your Mac has a webcam, but it's fairly small, and it's limited in what it can record. Apple's only recently been upgrading the camera quality to give higher resolution, and it's still not fantastic. But the one on your iPhone, these are great cameras. Why can't you use these cameras on your Mac? Third-party apps have been doing this for years, like Reincubate's Camo, and that's still around with even more features than what Apple is offering. But this just makes it super easy to instantly use your iPhone as a webcam. There's even different tools out there, such as the new Belkin MagSafe mount. It just clips onto the top of your laptop, you slap your iPhone there using MagSafe, and you've got your iPhone well positioned to act as a camera to take that Zoom call, work meeting, whatever it may be. It's seriously cool and easy to use, just all instantly built in and just works. There's also this thing called Desk View, where it's able to show the desk in front of you. Personally, this is also a huge new feature if you're trying to demo something. There are times where that's going to be beyond useful, and I am so excited about what these new features are ready to offer. So continuity camera, huge win here in macOS Ventura. I mentioned it before, but weather and clock are now on the Mac. These have been standbys on iPhones and iPads for years, but now they come to the Mac as well. I don't use these applications all that much, but there's a couple nice things, like being able to set timers in Siri, and you can even use the updated Spotlight search, which is more photographic and visual than ever, and you can even use that to set timers. I love this. It makes it really easy. Command spacebar, putting your timer in, go. Ready to rock, super quick and easy. Clock and weather are here. There's a bunch of third-party weather apps that are great on the Mac App Store, but I do like the new version because it's building on Dark Sky that Apple acquired a few years back, and for me, it's all the more reason to give this a try, because Dark Sky, hands down, best weather app that I've ever used. What are some other great features of macOS Ventura that I have actually enjoyed using over the last several months? Well, Safari tab groups. They're really cool. You can share tab groups as long as the other person is on Ventura as well, but it makes it really easy to organize what you're looking at and move between different tasks, time to focus modes, all sorts of different things. I also like the updates to messages. You can edit a message, undo sending a message, all of that, and it works on iPhone and iPad now and does the same thing on Mac. Really handy to have around. Then there's the changes for photos. I love the ability to just pull a subject right out of a photo. It's seriously cool. And for Photos, the actual Photos app, you now have access to the iCloud shared photo library. For me, as a new dad, this is amazing because my wife and I can take photos of our baby and our kid and share them with each other right away without having to airdrop or message photos back and forth and worry about edits and crap like that. This is so much better. I'm so happy that iCloud photo library or shared photo libraries are here after not making the cut in the original version of iOS 16. This is rolling out in 16.1 for iPhone and iPad and macOS Ventura 2. So that about covers it. I don't think there's any reason to not upgrade to macOS Ventura. The few bugs that are there, they're going to get figured out, and they're not anything big enough to hold off on upgrading. There's these new security features and a bunch of actual new usable features that you're going to appreciate having. So when macOS Ventura is available, which could be right now, you should download it. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments or on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Otherwise, stay tuned. I got a lot more videos headed your way.